Hey, so Plot to the Moon asked me for some input on creative stagnation and feeling like you're stuck in the same place and doing the same thing and you're just bored. And trust me, those are feelings that I have experience with. I'm gonna start out with a confession that I woke up this morning not wanting to make a video, and I haven't really increased my desire to make a video all day, and it's now evening and I have to rush to get this up, and I don't want to. And it happens to me every spring. It's not that I'm running out of ideas of what to make, it's that I'm running out of the motivation to do it, and I start thinking about these other things like how my subscriber count is going down on average, and how my views are lower than they've ever been, and how I just, don't always see the point because the other projects that I'm working on that I really believe in are also just not really taking off, and it is frustrating. And I'm not looking for any kind of pity, I'm just honestly telling you where I'm coming from. These are valid feelings that you have, and everybody has them, and it's very easy to forget that in this sort of clean, edited setting that sometimes I just don't want to do it. But that also brings me to my first and most important point, which is that most of this creative struggle that I'm having is inside my own head. Like I said, I'm not running out of ideas, I'm just thinking about other things than the ideas of the videos that I want to make, and that isn't helpful. It's like having enough ingredients laid out for you to make this wonderful Christmas dinner, and all you can think about is how only a few people showed up to your Christmas party last year, instead of about this delicious food that you could be making. Another thing that I have to remember is that my output is a direct result of my input. A lot of people come up with these creative systems and they just stick to them, and that's never worked for me, because if I create this one system, then I start creating all this stuff that looks the same, and then there's nothing new, there's no variety, and that gets boring and repetitive. So I try to consume a bunch of different media, try to read books that are outside my normal interests. I have really been enjoying taking my dog on walks because that gets me seeing different parts of town, and it gets me out of my apartment, which can also be a great boon to my creativity. It's just important to kind of mix things up. I also have to remember that when I don't want to do something, most of the time I'm just too tired. Get enough sleep! It's important from an energy standpoint, but it's also important from an idea standpoint, because dreams are a great place for disparate ideas in your head to just bounce off each other and create something new. One of the things that really helps me too, because YouTube is my big creative outlet, is going to VidCon or just finding other YouTubers to talk to. I used to talk on Skype with my YouTube friends quite a lot, but most of us have grown up and don't really have time to do that anymore because we have full-time jobs or we're studying or whatever. But it helps to be in contact with people doing the same thing that you are, because that's the way that you get new ideas, because talking shop with each other gets you lots of new tips and tricks that you want to try out. I don't know if this made any sense because things have been kind of noisy in my apartment complex and my dog has not been very cooperative either, so this was a little difficult to film, but I hope that it helped somebody out there, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to be a little bit more casual on this channel again. Yeah, so I'll see you all next week because it's important to keep making videos even when you're in a creative rut. Bye everybody.